Yo, welcome to my little Scrum Match Corp's YouTube. Today's going to be the first Players Cup date for Players Cup 4. So this is going to be a little bit of what I've experienced as well as what I've seen from talking with people who are using their keys and watching streamers do their stuff as well. So some of my data might be a little bit different. Some of my predictions might be a little different than what you've got. But, you know, we put a fair amount of time into watching, playing, etc. And so I think I've got a decent idea of where we're at. So far, the meta has been a lot of ADP, a lot of LMZ. Urshifu's been hit and miss, but I'd say there's a fair amount of Urshifu. Victini's another one where there hasn't been a ton of Victini, but there's been enough where it's a deck you will probably hit at some point within a couple of keys. And Eternatus, same thing. It seems to be falling off a bit, but it is still out there as well. These are the 5 decks that I think you are the most likely to run into. Potentially multiple times or every single key. I think I've only used 10 keys so far, but I think I've hit every single one of these decks except Victini multiple times. And I've seen other streamers hit Victini a fair amount. So like I said, not a ton of Teeny out there, but enough because the amount of Luke Metal Zacian that has been doing pretty well. So just something to keep in mind. Less common decks. Grass Mew 2, Grass Mew 3, whatever you want to call it, Relish, has shown up a fair amount. Psychic Mew 3 as well, the one that just like, you know, attaches 1 energy per turn, has shown up a fair amount. Dragapult's been out there, as well as Dragapult Urshifu. I kind of lump those two. It's kind of both decks. Mad Party and Tempozard, these have all also shown up, you know, pretty frequently. So any of the decks on here are ones that I would say, if you're going to use 5 keys, you're probably going to run into at least one of the most common decks, and you're probably going to run into a fair amount of the less common but still showing up ones because they, like I said, they show up enough that it is a concern. Other stuff out there like Pikarom, for example, I haven't seen as much Peak as I would have expected, so I wouldn't count that as one of the decks. Green Zard's another one that like it shows up but not really. So these are the ones that I would say you have to beat. You may be saying, now what's the play? There's a lot of decks out there. I'm kind of, and I made a video about this earlier, I'm kind of the mindset, just keep running the same deck over and over again so you don't hit that variance of like, I hit 3 bad matchups in a row and suddenly I'm out of luck. Well, hit 3 bad matchups in a row, lose round 1, keep running the same deck, you're going to start hitting good matchups as well. The variance will equal out. So take something that can beat the stuff in the most common decks. Like I would look at those and say, can my deck beat, 3-4 of them consistently? And then have a chance against the other 2 that I don't beat super consistently, then I would say that's a good deck to play. Less common decks, these are also ones where if you just look at that list and you're like, I can body every single one of those, and I can beat some of the most common decks, your deck is probably a very good play. Also, if your deck is on this list, I would say all of them are pretty good plays. Dragapult's one that I'm a little hesitant of. I'm just not a fan of Dragapult as a deck. Especially Mad Party has been falling off. There's a lot of Mad Party early on. It's been falling off a little bit. There's also a lot more Luke Metal now, which makes me a little sketched out about Dragapult. But everything else on this list, like if you play it, you can definitely qualify for sure. You just kind of keep running it over and over again. ADP is the one that I've hit the most. I assume you probably have as well. Let me know in the comment section too what the metas look like for you, because I guarantee you it's looked different for me. It also depends when you're playing. So consider that too. When do I play? About 3 to 6 p.m. on West Coast time, so Pacific time in the US. If you are from a different country, you are probably playing at a much different time and probably hitting very different decks than I am. So this is really relevant to myself as well as when I watch people who are streaming, which is normally a little bit before and a little bit after. That's when my free time is. So, where you're from might also change this drastically. Point totals as of recording this video. Currently top 256 in NA is at 49, EU's at 31, LATAM's at 29, and top 128 in Oceania is at 6. These are climbing pretty quickly. There's a lot of time left. We have until the 26th, so about 21 days as of recording this video to still do it, but there are plenty of people who've already finished their keys. There's a handful of people who are over 100 rep already. There's definitely some of the people in the 70s and 80s are probably done with their keys too. And, same with 90s, etc. So there's people that are done. It's hard to know without knowing who is actually done and who isn't done. what these numbers are going to end up being, but I've got some predictions. But this is where we're at. The numbers are higher than they have been in the past, but not necessarily cause for concern currently. People, just want to use their keys fast. Here's the current projections. I think NA, my gut says NA is going to go up a little bit, but it's currently projected to be at about 94 rep. Again, I might expect that to climb a little bit. It's been at 94 for the past 2, but we'll see. We have to get an idea of how many people are actually playing. It's only been a week. EU looks like it's going to go up about 85-ish. LATAM looks like it's going to go up as well. We're at about 77-ish, and Oceania is going to go up too. But honestly, if you live in Oceania, you just have to use your keys and you will qualify. It's just kind of show up and you'll be good to go. But again, these numbers are going to change drastically. One of the reasons I'm just including them now is people are interested. I think 100 is a safe number for NA. That's the number I'm personally shooting for. But I don't think you need 100 rep to actually qualify. I will be shocked if it is that high. Could it be? Yes. Will it be? There's only so many points out there. Yes, there's money on the line now. But one of the things that happens is just because there's money on the line doesn't mean more people are playing. People are just automatically assuming like, oh, more people are going to play. Money's not that much of a motivator to suddenly get that many more people. The difference between, 100 more people playing and 1,000 more people playing for a region is drastic. 100 more people playing for a region, that doesn't really change the numbers that much when you're already talking about a few thousand people using their keys in NA. I don't know about the numbers in the other regions because I'm from NA. So the question of how many more people are doing it because now everyone who makes global finals gets money, I don't know. We'll figure that out over the next coming weeks. It doesn't really seem like it's that many more people. And if it's not that many more people, the numbers shouldn't change too much. My own results, I've only used 10 keys so far, which I'm not gonna, as much as I hate the process, that's pretty good for me. So I'll be using the next 40 keys over some time. I've used Luke Metal twice. I hit auto loss in top 4 of one of those keys, and then I hit a very hard matchup in top 8 of another one. Luke Metal's definitely a bit of a high rolly deck as far as like, are you going to hit the right stuff? But if you hit the right stuff, and there's a lot of good matchups out there, Luke Metal's a pretty good one. So don't let that's 2 keys. don't let that throw you off. And 8 keys of Peak-ROM for 24 rep, which is obviously very good. I mentioned earlier in a video, I want to kind of run the same deck over and over and over again. Peak-ROM is my best deck. I play it the best. It doesn't have the best matchups in the world. It's got a few tough ones, but I've gotten a bit lucky. Obviously, just playing the best with it as well. I think I'm going to keep running these 2. I've got other stuff like in the back of my mind that I might want to run, pull out here and there, stuff I've been playing. But to me, these are the top 2 decks right now. Luke Metal is on the rise in the meta, and so I am afraid to bring too much Luke Metal or bring Luke Metal too often because I'm not that good of a Luke Metal player where it's like, I don't want to play the mirror. I can win the mirror. I know how to win the mirror, but it's not fun, and I'm not that good at the Luke Metal mirror where I feel confident versus like Peak. I haven't had to play the Peak mirror. I'm very confident in the Peak mirror. That feels generally like a totally fine matchup. Yeah, this is where I'm at. I've got 40 more keys. I'm going to use them all on my Twitch stream. Probably all of them. We'll see. If I keep going this slow, I might have to use some off stream to actually finish. The dream is keep this pace up and not have to use all 50 keys. I'm going to be honest. But that's where I'm at. Do I suggest Peak-ROM to you? Only if you have been playing Peak as long as I have and you enjoy the deck. Otherwise, I don't think Peak is the best option. I've pulled a few wins out of seemingly nowhere just because I know how to Peak. But if you're like, I'm really good with Urshifu, just keep playing Urshifu. Urshifu is a very good deck. If you're really good with E-Turn, keep playing E-Turn. E-Turn is a very good deck, Don't be afraid. Any of these tier 1, tier 2 decks, you can qualify with them. That includes stuff like Mad Party. That includes Relish. That includes any of these other decks. So let me know in the comment section below how you're doing on your keys. Make sure to check me out as I stream my own keys as well. Twitch.tv/mellow_magikarp. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.